Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new live session of Customily. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. So, let's start this live session with the basics. What is Customily? Well, most of you installed the app quite recently and are either getting started with your store from scratch or beginning the process of selling personalizable products on an existing store. For both cases, we have the perfect tools to get started. So, Customily is a web app that installs in your store and provides you with live previews of products, along with options that your customers can interact with, changing those live previews with every interaction. So, from text typing to um, image selection or image upload as well, or color changes and font changes, you'll see that the live preview will change live to you, will change automatically and give you a realistic example of how your customization will look on the finished product. As you can see in this particular case, we have this design in which you can personalize the character and add a dog to it. And there's a lot of dog options like this, and we'll show. Everything is changing live as you see, and Customily provides you with that live preview of how your product will look. But not only that, imagine for a second how for those with existing stores, how your customization process was done before. You had to offer multiple options, give probably all the possible choices to your customers on the listing by putting a lot of images, and then you will have to go back and forth with emails, sending proof of how the design will look, and you will get feedback from your customer until you finish up putting together what the customer wants, and then you have to produce that into a print file and send that file to fulfillment. So all those processes that take a lot of time and will only take more time and force you to take more staff and more dedicated and resources and people into processing many orders with that will get simplified with Customily. Why? Because now the back and forth and proofing with your customers will be reduced to them playing around with the options and previewing the finished product here. Not only that, the information that they put on the preview will go directly into a print file that Customily will create for you and put it on the order. So you can grab that print file and go and fulfill automatically. So you see how many time saver Customily can become to your store, how easy it will be, and how fast things will be done now that your customers can customize directly on the store, preview the end result, and you will get the print file and the fulfillment. Now, this preview is done by loading a template on the page, as well as the options. And all these options together are the option set. So these two elements, the template and the option set, are created in Customily and connected to a product. That's how Customily will work and transform any product into a customizable product online. So if you follow the steps of creating a template from scratch, you'll be able to create the options automatically, so you don't have to do all this. Customily can help you do that. And you can connect them to any of your existing products, as simple as that. And let me tell you a bit more about Customily 2.0. Now, what is this? This is our latest update for Shopify stores, which allows you to create and publish personalized products easier, faster, and better than before. So those starting your stores from scratch will have more interest in this section because now you can choose directly from a print-on-demand provider, add a design to it, and get it published in your Shopify store, all from the Customily app. Also, with the print-on-demand services that have an API connection, all the fulfillment processes will be automated. This means that once you receive a purchase, all the order details and the ready-to-print file will be sent to the corresponding POD provider automatically for fulfillment and shipping. Another interesting feature for Shopify users is the free access to Customily's design libraries. Now, you can find designs ready to use and sell, or you can grab those clip art and create your own art. So there's a lot of things new and available inside Customily for those merchants starting from scratch and not knowing where to start with. You will be creating products directly to your store using Customily, saving you a lot of time, not only on the customization part from your customers, the print file creation on your side, and the sending to the fulfillment. Those things have all been simplified by Customily. So we can say that there are 4 different paths you can explore with Customily 2.0. So you can follow along with this explanation and ask yourself those questions to see, what am I going to be selling? Do I have new products? Do I have existing products? Do I have my designs? Will I use Customily designs? Will I be using print-on-demand providers? So asking yourself those questions will take you to these possible scenarios. You can work with a print-on-demand provider who has its own product catalog and add a design from Customily's library to it. This is the fastest path and the one that allows you to have published products ready to sell in minutes. You can also work with the print-on-demand provider, but choose to add your own designs to their product. In this case, you will have to populate your design library before being able to publish products in your store. And we have a design studio meant for this part of the art creation. On the other hand, if you have your own products and are not interested in working with a print-on-demand provider, the way to go is to start by populating your product-based library first. After you have your own product mockups, you can choose to add a design from Customily's design and create the product really fast. Or you can, of course, add your own designs to your own products. And this is the path that involves more time, but once you have all your product mockups and all your designs set up, it's just a mix and match game, and you'll be able to create and launch many products really fast. Okay, now that we have the different alternatives clear, let's create some products together. And today we are going to play around with 2 of these scenarios. The first scenario will be picking a product from our one POD supplier and put a Customily design. See how fast that works. And also today we're going to explore the last scenario. We're going to create our own mockup, and we're going to create a particular design that will go into that mockup. So putting together a design and a mockup will create a brand new product, and that will go straight to your store. Now, if you check previous live sessions, all our live sessions are published in our YouTube channel. There's a playlist that you can just hit play and relax all day and see a lot of examples of the other possible path, as well as working with existing products. We have explored a lot of possible ways to use Customily with many crazy and amazing ideas of different type of products. So I encourage you to watch other live sessions aside from participating on this one, and you will find on the description of each video a link to download the files so you can replicate the tutorials. These live sessions are not just to watch, but also to replicate and to follow us tutorials and grab the same assets I'm using today with you and along each one of the live sessions. So you'll be able to actually create those products on your store by following the videos. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Imagine I'm a Shopify store owner. I want to start selling personalized products, and I just installed Customily to try it out. Here we are in the main menu of Customily. You can see at the left bar that we have 6 sections. The first 3 sections are shortcuts to the 2.0 tools, and the other 3 sections are the main core of Customily. You can manage, create, and clone, delete, etc. all your templates. Remember, templates are the ones that load here and give you the live preview. You can upload and organize your assets in libraries. So you can have color libraries, font libraries, vectors, and image libraries as well. And you can see all your connected products in the store section, as well as change many settings that will help you customize the front-end experience of your customers. Now, when you start Customily and you start for the first time, you're taken to this start section. You will see, of course, this create new product big button, but also you will see that there are other sections in which you can start exploring. But before jumping into touching anything, you will get an onboarding. And that's very important because the onboarding will ask you these key questions about what are you going to be selling, if you're going to be using a POD, if you have existing designs or you want to use our designs. So by answering those questions, the onboarding will give you a path, and I encourage you to follow that path. So in the end, you have a published product, you have your print-on-demand suppliers integrated, and you will at least have the very best knowledge and known path to take and start working with Customily. So you will see on the left lower corner a checklist that I encourage you to follow and complete so you get the first ideas of how Customily works. But in this case, we are going to, you see here that we're going to create a new product, and you will see all the print-on-demand suppliers we are currently integrating with. Those who have automatic fulfillment indicated below are the ones that have API connection, meaning that whenever you create a product using these print-on-demand providers, and you have the API for that, you're going to have an account with them, that connection will allow them to receive your print files once you get a purchase. And that's going to save you a lot of time. Also, you can see here that well, this will be empty at the beginning, but you can start creating your own designs. Remember that designs will get into products and create pretty much this setup. And also you'll have the chance to create your product bases, which are the mockups that are not part of any print-on-demand catalog. Okay, so today we're going to create these 2 products that I just showed you. The camping mat with one of our designs, and we're going to create this flower pot, and I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this one. This is particular. But to begin with, in case you are going to be using print-on-demand suppliers, I encourage you to, well, sign into your account with them and find the API to fully integrate with Customily. For that, what you need to do is, you'll see here that there are 4 navigation sections, and you're going to click on Settings. On the 5 tabs here, you're going to pick the Integrations tab. And here you will have a drop-down menu in which you can select the print-on-demand providers you want to connect with. Right now, I'm connected with Printful and Printify, so I have accounts with them. I grab the API keys from them, and I save them inside Customily. But if I were to pick, for example, Custom Cut, I will select Custom Cut from the drop-down, click on Enable Integration, and Custom Cut will show up at the bottom here. I can grab my API key. For that, if you don't know where your API key is, you can click here. There's like a Help Center article here that will take you to information on where you can find the API key for every one of our from our integrated print-on-demand services. So if I go to Custom Cut, I'll be able to find the API key. Yeah, I'm going to see how I can find that. Go to the Custom Cut app, retrieve that, paste it here, and click Save Settings. That way, when it gets green, now I'm also integrated with Custom Cut, meaning that whenever I create a product from the Custom Cut catalog, it's going to have a connection to Customily, and whatever purchase it's made with that is going straight to fulfillment. So let's create something. Let's go back to the Start menu. And let me show you how you can create the mug. So first we go here and we create a new product. I can choose from my product basis. We're going to see that later. Or I can pick any of these print-on-demand providers. For example, if I click on Printify, I will see the Printify catalog. These are all the products integrated so far with Customily. We integrate more from time to time. You can also request a particular product if you want to sell that in particular, no problem. Just send us an email with the link and we're going to study the case. But there's a lot of options. And if you pick any of these, you'll be able to put a design and create a brand new product in your store. So let's go and find the enamel camping map. And you can search for anything here. When I pick this product from Printify, I can pick the print provider if there's more than one, the sizes or any other variants like colors or materials, and pick whatever I want to sell. In this case, it's only one provider, one size, and one print area, which is a wraparound. And then I'm going to click Next down here and pick my designs. Right now, what I just did is pick the product from the base product from the print-on-demand provider, and now I'm going to put a design. If I had designs, I will go and find them here in your designs. But if I want to start with something and see what happens, I can pick from Customily designs. So when I click here, I get to see all our collections, and inside each collection, you will find dozens of designs. So it's about, more than 200 designs available right now. You can pick from any category. We have animal-related categories. We have character-related, seasonal events, time of year, special products. There's a lot of things you can play with. In this case, I'm going to specifically search for mugs because mugs have this long design that wraps around, and I can specifically look for something that will definitely fit into the mug product. And all I need is coffee and my dog. I like this one. So once I pick one of my designs, I can always check out this by zooming in. I'm going to click here and sit back for a couple of minutes. Now, right now, what Customily is doing is creating a brand new product in my store. It's giving that product a name, a listing photo, and it's picking the information from Printify about the print area, the mockups, the variants in any case. And once it has all that information, it's grabbing the design from the Customily database and putting the design on the print area, and also putting the design on the mockup. When you have a design on a print area and on the mockup, you are basically creating a template. Now you see how the mockup is looking back really nice on the product. So I can pick something like that. Change the skin color. This particular design has all these settings. Set this to be something like this, and change my t-shirt color, my pants, and add a name to the dog, and find a nice looking dog, for example, a Labrador. And if I click on preview, I get to see how this looks. Now notice that there's an effect on the wrapping of the mug. Yeah, and ideally that's the way that the print on demand has set things to look, but you can change that using Customily. And I'm going to show you how, because, well, maybe you want to show the full design, or avoid this effect. This is just a preview, so let me show you how this works. In the meantime, I like this preview, and I'm going to save this to be my new listing photo. This is going to be my main photo of my new product. This button here will ensure of that. And also I want to change the name of the product, because this is the main name from Printify, and I want to change that. So I can click here and edit product details, and, well, set the price, for example, and change this to coffee and my dog camping map. Coffee, my dog camping map. Yeah, and I can also change the description. This is a shortcut to something that you can do on Shopify later. So don't worry, this is something that is saving you time, because if you want to just run and publish, all you need is the template that's just loaded, the options, all this is coming from Customily, a nice picture on the listing, a nice attractive title, and then you click publish. Now this is live on my store. Okay, I have a price, I have a listing photo, and I can start playing around with my store and change this any way I want. It's pretty much looking exactly as we saw on the revision, just this is now live. So let me show you what happened on the back end of Customily. Let's go back here. You're taken back to square one, but now if you check what happened on the back end, remember these three sections are the core elements of Customily. So if you click on templates, you will see that if you order this by the last modified, you'll see that we have actually a new template called the Animal Camping Mug. And this template was created mixing the POD information and the Customily design information. And this is the template that loads on the page. If I click on edit, I will see that the design that came from Customily is fitting on the print area. Like this. Okay, this is the wraparound print area, and this is where the design is coming along. If you actually want to change this, you can actually do so, because you can pretty much select everything from the design. You could even click on the title and upload a new title if you like, if you have your own designs, or come to the dog name and change the font if you want. So you can pretty much change whatever you want about this design. And you don't see the character, but the character is here. You just need to click on, for example, skin color object, and just check out the different skin color images. Now this is the print part. You see step one, the production file settings. Now how this is looking on the front end, you can change that in the next step, where you're going to see the preview. Basically, every single item of the design, everything I just selected, will be put on top of a product color image, or a product image. And some products also have something called a mask. The mask basically what does is give you that realistic preview. Basically, if I were to turn off this, you'll see that this is a more plain of an image and stuff. But basically, because the mask is the same product photo with a transparency and a sort of transparent effect. So basically, just a PNG that comes from the POD as well as the product information, and you can preview this looking more appealing, more attractive. And remember that we wanted to actually squeeze the title like that a bit. Nothing changes. This is still the finished product. We just do some quick adjustment to make sure the preview looks nicer. Whatever I change here, whatever I move or rotate or whatever, will not affect the print. You can double check that because when you click next, before you save this template, you get to see the print file and the preview on the store. And just so you get the full idea of what you can do with Customily and understanding how this works, you click on any item here. This is just a revision. And I type something. And I get to see that on the preview, and it will go straight to the print. So that's how Customily will create the print file from whatever your customer will customize on the front end. That's the beauty, and that's the key of the template. So I save this. And you don't have to reconnect anything or do anything strange. All you have to do once the template is saved, depending on how many images you have, it's very fast. Changes to the template don't need to reconnect anything. All you have to do is come to the product again, this one, and refresh. Yeah. So obviously the picture will be the old one, but if you start customizing something, you will see that the template now looks more like the wanted. So that's all you need to do. You need to change the image. You can customize something, click on preview, and save this to be your new, save it to upload to Shopify. So you could actually upload if you those products that have a lot of dogs and possibilities of designing, you could have many images and put them all inside Shopify to make sure the product looks really beautiful. But that's all customizable. That's the advantage of Customily. Okay, jumping into the flower pot. Now, with the flower pot, I wanted to give you this particular scenario. Let's say I I have a lot of flower pots on my warehouse, okay, and they all say love grows here. But turns out I have a way. Let's say I have this machine that prints transparent stickers, and I can actually print the names or print anything and put it on the top part of the flower pot. Turns out now I can customize my product. I can sell that customizable. Okay, so if I didn't have that product listed on my store before, I can now create a brand new product on my store in which I can offer this flower pot. Not only that, I could actually offer my flower pot with one design or many designs. So one product will be the flower pot with names. The other will be the flower pot with stylish designs and stuff like that. So you could actually change patterns in here or type your names. So you can do a lot of possibilities, and you can offer many products so customers could actually purchase precisely what they want. So how do we turn this idea into something you can do in Customily? For starters, you need to know for a fact what's your print size. Basically, I want to print a label that will go on one side of this flower pot. So I need to know exactly the exact measurements of this. So I actually, when we picked this flower pot, I took the measurements, and I realized that printing on this half of the flower pot, it's about 30 centimeters by 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a product base. A product base is the same as a print on demand will have, is the print area information and the mockup information. And then I can put any design inside that product. And when I combine a product base with a design, I get a template and a product. So let me show you how you can do that. We go back to Customily and we go back to the start. before creating a new product, I actually need a product base because I'm going to be clicking here, and instead of picking any of these, I will pick this. So I need something inside my product base collection. So I'm going to click on my product bases and create a new product base. This will be the, let's call this the live session blank flower pot. Okay. And the sizes that I need to put in here, the width and the height, I can actually change the units here, is what I know I will be printing. I'm going to be printing 300 by 50. Okay, and now I'm going to create that. So basically, this is my maximum print area. Inside this print area, designs will be created. And we're going to do that later. But right now, all I need to do is set up the size of the print area and also set up the export format for my label machine. In this case, I can select from vector formats and image formats, and there's also AI here. I'm going to export as an EPS file and set the color mode to C and YK. If I were to select a image file, I could actually change the resolution, make sure it prints in really high quality. But I'm going to for the EPS in C and YK. Now that I have my export format, my settings, and my print area, I click next, and I need to create my mockup. Remember that the mockup is what's going to show on the front end later. And you will see 3 buttons here. Add the product image, add the mask. Remember, the mask is that transparent PNG that will make stuff more realistic. And also, if you want to add extra images, you can also do that. Very common when you're adding accessories and stuff like that. But in this case, we're going to add a new image. And check out this. I actually have the sample, okay? And I also have the blank image. That's why we set this to be the blank product. Basically, because I could have this idea of a product. Yeah, I wanted to open that with, so you can see that bigger. This is my idea. This is what I want to accomplish, but I cannot put customizable elements on top of this these existing names. So what I need is the blank version, and I'm going to click on the blank version and open that right there. So this is my product image, just like the mug on the previous example. And my print area, remember this is the print area proportions and stuff. For the preview, I can actually put it anywhere I want. Well, not where I want, but where it's going to be presented on top of the product. Yeah, so like that and like that. This is where I want my text, my future design to show up. It can be a text, it can be like a floral example, or I don't know, just emojis. Anything that you can think of can be put here later. What will happen is that later when I put a design into this print area, and I can click next to better understand, it's going to print like this and showcase on the front end like this. As simple as that. So now I'm going to save this. Before you save, you can always add variants. In this case, we don't have any variants, but you could actually have colors and sizes and other variants as well, because this is a product and we want things to be automated later. But right now, we're going to save this product base. I can see now the list of my product bases. Okay, this is this section here. Remember, these are shortcuts to the 2.0 features. And I'm going to be taking this to the start again. And now I can click on create new product and grab my product base, but I still don't have a design. So I'm going to create a new design here. Now for my new design, well, let's say names for flower pot. Uh, I think there's two of them. So I name this and create design. By default, you start off with a really big square canvas, but you can resize this. And this is our design studio. This is where you can actually start creating customizable designs. Designs can be anything you can imagine. All you need to do is have the right images, the right ideas. I always recommend that if you're going to be creating your own designs, you first need like a sample or an idea or a mock-up, something that will guide you into what do you need to customize. Many customers use Canva. That's beautiful. That's perfect because you can export PNGs. But basically, you need to understand that some things are static, like a background, and some things will be customized. So if you're going to be typing a name, you don't need that name to be on the background. You need that background be empty, and you create, for example, a text box. So things you can customize using Customily. Basically, text input. Customers can input their own text in straight lines or in curved lines. Okay. And well, of course, once you start typing text, you can change font, you can change color, you can do a lot of things with those text elements. Then you can offer your customers the chance to upload their own images or vectors. Vectors for logos, for example, but mostly images. A placeholder, and pay attention that it only has one icon here, is where your customers will upload their images. Really interesting when you are creating gifts and you want your customers to put their own images and collage and stuff like that. That's really useful. So customers can upload their own images with placeholders. Also, if you want to offer customized street maps, so so customers will be able to pick their location and change the style of the map and stuff, you have map feature. Also, we have star map feature, so you can showcase constellations and the sky on a certain date and location. That's really nice to play with. And finally, we have dynamic elements, dynamic vectors, and dynamic images. Notice that these two dynamic elements have 4 icons, meaning that you can put inside of these elements your own images, your own backgrounds, your own clip arts, etc. So if you were to upload one image, it will be this background, for example. That's one image you upload. But if you upload, I don't know, 10 different hairstyles inside the same object, basically you're giving the choice to customers to select from those 10 images. So that's how dynamic elements work. You can put inside one or many elements. One will be, like I said, a static image or a mask or whatever you want to set up in your design. And if you have many choices, you can put them all together inside one object, and that object will offer those choices to your customers. In this case, we want to create a simple text field. Perhaps in the future, we'll create other designs that will have images or vectors and stuff like that, so you can print other kind of labels. But right now, we want to create a simple text field. And we definitely don't want this to be a big square. We want this to have the same proportions as the print area, because we know that. So we're going to click on resize and edit. Yeah, resize is up here. Okay, so now that we have the text, actually the text went off and disappeared. No worries, there are alignment tools here that will allow you to center this and this like that. This is looking pretty big, so I'm going to change that. And for that, we have a series of tabs here that will allow us to play around with the text elements. So if I click on transform, I can rearrange, be more precise on coordinates, and positioning, rotation, and sizing, like this. Also, I can open the character tab and start playing around with the fonts. In this case, well, if you start off with just one font, but you can upload fonts from your computer just by clicking on this plus button. And when you upload fonts, they will show up here and become your database. And you can pick any font. You can even pick many fonts. So I'm going to pick one font like that. Yeah. And let's do something different. Let's pick another font. Yeah. So I'm going to pick option number 1 is Amiten, and option number 2, I'm going to find that something else. I don't know, this one. No, I don't like this one. So let's change that. Yeah, I like this one better. Okay, so now we have two fonts, font 1 and font 2. Since Customily found two fonts here, it will create the choice for your customers. Okay, and let's say we also want to manage the sizes. Why? Because basically customers will type in, let's say, and it's kind of small, right? So we can actually pick the maximum size and start making bigger, as big as, well, there. It stopped at 107. So 107, yeah? Now, what happens if we keep typing? So if I keep typing, you see it start to shrink, and go, and start to go very small, very small. How small it will go until it reaches the minimum size. Minimum size, you can preview with the eye here, is this. And this is not printable. Yeah, so we cannot make this really small. We need to stop customers at a certain point. And for that, we set the minimum size to something like 70. So at some point, it will stop. You will not be able to keep typing. So we check, this is one of the fonts, and the other font is like that. It's pretty much the same. Actually, this one allows for more characters, but we have enough characters to play with. Let's remove this. This is all testing. Remember, this is not going to be any fixed value. But now that we have a minimum size limit and a maximum size allowed by the box, the only thing we need to do now is change the color. Why? Because we want to print in some kind of white. It could be white, perfectly white, or it could be something less. So I close the character and I open color tab. And here I can actually change the color of the text. Like you see, option here, you can actually have many colors if you want to offer color choices. I don't want to, let's go for that. Let's go with the something like, I don't know, this gray, yeah. And something, let me see what will look good here. Not really, not that much. But let's go, because this is white. In any case, if you want to add colors, I'm going to add colors just for the pressure of it. Let's try to find something that will change slightly. Yeah. So now we have two color options and two font options. This is my design. All I wanted to do was this, and it's done, so I can save it. You don't have to get really complex with Customily. You can actually have something as simple as a text. Okay, this is the my design area. Okay, and I will find my design at the bottom here. So now I can go to the start menu, and I have everything to create a brand new product that will have my design and my stock product information. So I click on create new product. I go to my product basis. I pick from the live session blank flower pot. This is one. Yeah, there's no variant, so there's nothing to specify here. Just click next, and I can put a custom design. That's correct. Yes, I could. But, well, we are kind of thinking about what we want to do. In any case, you can pick any design and see what happens. Will be interesting. But if I go and pick from my designs, I will find in the last page this one. So I'm going to click. The same that we did before. We wait for Customily to create the new listing on Shopify, create the template using the design and the base, and create the options as well. Put everything together and gives you the final revision so you can publish this product in your store. This listing will be exactly as like any other listing on Shopify. Okay, this is our mockup that we set up on the product base, and the print area should be something around here. So if we check it out and test it, yeah, this looks pretty well. What will happen if I change the font? It will change, and the text will change, and the font will change again. And that's our brand new product working and looking beautifully. I actually like this preview, so I'm going to save this to be my new listing photo. Obviously, this is not the nice looking product title, so I'm going to edit the product details. Yeah, and I'm going to change this to live session names flower pot. Okay, perfect. Also, notice this. When you put here the names, it says text 1, and then says text 1 font, font 1, font 2, text 1 color. These labels and these tooltips, they're not very attractive, but you can change that. You can change that in the design if you want to, but if you are right at this point, you can actually edit the options with this button. Options can be a bit tricky at the beginning, but basically you get to see the text input, meaning that this element will control the text input part. This element, number 2, will control the swatch for changing the fonts, and this will control the swatch for changing the colors. So if I open text input, I get to see a lot of things here. I get to see that the label is called text, and we can change this to type your names. Okay. We can put a help text like says, please type in all capital letters and stuff like that. I can suggest something like a name, or I can actually start with a name, like a fixed example that you can delete and put your own. Those are placeholders and initial values. And I can, for example, set the number of characters if I want to. That's what you can do with the text input. Now, what about the swatches? Swatches are basically the small thumbnails. Yeah, this is a swatch, and it says text 1 font. Now let's say select font. And if you see, we have 2 choices here. If this is the swatch values we can select. If we click here, we open and we see the small thumbnail created by Customily, and we can change this to Amitan, I think was the name, and the other one I forgot. Yeah, but let's say let's simplify this to script and modern. Yeah. Basically, now the tooltips will look like that also. And for the, let's close this, for the text, for the color, we do the same. We're going to say select color. And 2 choices, text color 1 and 2. That's not nice. Let's say this is a color. You see, there's no image, but there's a color selection. So this one will be white. And this one will be pale yellow, like that. Okay, these are my new choices. And happy with this, click on Save Option Set. And you can see how things changes now. Type your names will have a 28 character limit. Select font will have script and modern. and select color will have white and pale yellow. This looks nicer, and you can customize this on the front end. All said and done, we click publish and see that. Yeah, this is the listing photo that I picked. This is the new product that I have with the name and stuff. And all I have to do is type something, okay? Preview the fonts that I want and see what I like. If we need to put a price or we need to tag this with a lot of things, just go to your Shopify backend and in the products, look for pot. Yeah, and you will see that there's a new product here. Inside here, you can do as usual, like any other product, set a pricing, set a collection, and anything else you want to do. Save it, and the product is still working with Customily, like anything else. There you go. Well, I really hope now you have things a bit clear on as to how to create your products using Customily. And remember, we have an excellent support team. You can always contact them at support@customily.com. There's a live chat on the app that you can open a new chat with our agents on business hours EST. And also, we have Facebook communities, and you can share your ideas. You can ask for things. These Facebook communities are really interesting, and there's a lot of people sharing stuff and content and knowledge. It's really amazing. Okay, well, that's all for today. Thank you all for joining us on this live session of Thursday. Next week, we're not going to be having a live session per se, but we're going to be uploading video content as well. You're going to get a notice on your email and your and our communities. So stay in touch. We'll see you back on the 25th. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.